This video was made by Mercedes, Arpi, and Esmeralda. Nafta was created in 1994, formed by Canada, Mexico, and the US. This is the world's largest free trade area in terms of GDP, with an estimated of 22,567 trillion in 2016. The Article 102 of the Nafta Agreement outlines its 7 most important proposals. So what's going on now? Since Donald Trump became the president of the US, he unveiled his goal for the renegotiation of Nafta, but he also has threatened it with destroying it. However, the other two countries have different goals and opinions. Current situation in Mexico. Mexican representatives were publicly pleasant and emphasized their commitment to regional trade. However, the Mexican Economy Minister Guajardo made it clear by saying that Mexico will not cooperate in matters of security or migration if the US mistreats commerce. For Mexico, it's very important to keep an upright agreement, as the United States purchases about 80% of all Mexican exports, meaning that Mexican economy is highly dependent on trade with the US. The current situation in Canada. Canada's main goal is to stop the United States from slapping tariffs on the goods they have been trading freely for decades. The Canadian softwood lumber industry and the Canadian energy companies depend a lot on free trade with the United States. Canada is also concerned about the elimination of what is known as NAFTA's Chapter 19 provision. This section of the deal created a special settlement process that allows all the countries to challenge any duties one country might add on a certain import. The Trump administration has been using these laws to go after what it considers unfair trade practices, and doing it away with Chapter 19 will make it a lot easier to do so. Current situation in the United States. The Trump administration wants to reduce the trade deficit. Right now, the United States has a small trade surplus with Canada of $12.5 billion, while the US also had a $59 billion trade deficit with Mexico in 2016. Some of Trump's economic advisors think that cheap imports, in this case from Mexico, are the ones responsible for hurting the US manufacturers and therefore the US factory workers.
And now let us discuss 10 negative things about NAFTA. 1. There has been an increase in pollution in order to keep up with the trading demands. 2. More and more outsourcing is being conducted due to cheaper labor costs in Mexico. 3. The suppression of workers' wages, so salaries may not be able to be negotiated due to the loss or risk of losing unions within companies. 4. Many Mexican farmers risk losing their jobs because they cannot compete with American pricing. 5. NAFTA does not ensure labor rights or health benefits for civilians, so people can be working long and hard hours and may not be working in the best and healthy working conditions.
Now for the 5 positive aspects of NAFTA. Number 1. Increases of wages. Since North America produces more goods and services, wages in each country have increased by 0.17% in the United States, 0.96% in Canada, and 1.3% in Mexico. Number 2. Lowered prices. The reductions of tariffs with this agreement also reduce import prices. That also lessens the risk of inflation and allowed the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates low. America's largest import is oil. Lower prices are good for the people's budgets and increase their purchasing power. Number 3. It provides national goods. NAFTA Chapter 3, National Treatment and Market Access for Goods, is one of the provisions in the treaty for all products imported from the United States, Mexico, and Canada to have national goods status, eliminating duties on those goods. Number 4. It allows for the establishment of trade standards. These 3 countries agreed to improve the health, safety, and industrial standards to the highest existing standard possible. National standards no longer to apply as a barrier to free trade. Agreements were to be made to ensure the industrialization will not increase pollution as well as have a provision to manage labor and environmental issues. Number 5. Technology transfer. Local companies also receive access to the latest technologies from their multinational partners. As local economies grow, so do job opportunities. Multinational companies provide job training to local employees.